Hi, everybody. This is Steve Kodad. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you for joining me for the latest 15 minutes of Feng Shui with Steve. My name is Steve Kodad, and if you do me the favor and mute your audio, I'd appreciate it a great deal. Um, I hope you'll keep an eye out for my next LinkedIn event. Try to do two every month. The first one usually in the month is more of a family version, you might say. And the second one is more real estate, but I really don't want you to think that it's just that situation because you really pick up an awful lot from actually taking that also. So again, my name is Steve, and I'm the owner of the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui. I'm showing you these pictures for a major reason. There's a lot of interest around the country for Feng Shui. I'm the guy with the tie, but it doesn't matter where I go. There are a lot of people that have some interest in it. And, I would love to have you decide to take some of our training. So, Feng Shui tips. Today, we're going to be working on the idea of reputation. And that might seem a little weird for some of you, but reputation is a big thing and it has an awful lot of ramifications to it. So, as I always do, I'm giving a definition of reputation. And it's the opinion that people in general have about someone or something, or how much respect or admiration someone or something receives based on past behavior or character. Now, for me to get started with the feng shui part of it, I need to sort of introduce the idea of the Bagua for you. Bagua, which is an energy template or map, is used by all schools of feng shui. And it looks like this. It's got 8 equal sides. It's an octagram. And you notice everything revolves around health, which is something that we talked about in an earlier presentation. So like I said, I need to bring up the Bagua a little bit because we need to work on the information this gives us. And what a feng shui practitioner does is they lay the Bagua over top of a floor plan, whether mentally or physically. And it's easier to work as a rectangle. So the rectangle fills in a lot better. And we spend an awful lot of time working on very irregular environments because they're not all rectangles, or squares. So there is an overlap sometimes on things that are coming outside of the Bagua. So reputation, again, here's the Bagua. If you notice up here at the top, there's an actual quadrant, you want to call it that. It's referred to in feng shui as a gua, but I usually use the word quadrant or area. There's an actual quadrant that has the word reputation in it. So we're going to work on that particular part of an environment. So just so you understand, we're not talking about Dancing with the Stars here or American Idol. I usually get that when I'm on the road and people think it's funny, but it's not that. So it really probably in all books and all magazines should be called reputation. But anyway, often it's referred to as fame. And as you can probably understand, a person's reputation is very hard to build, a strong one, and it's so easy to destroy. So we're going to sort of talk about children and all that kind of stuff and trying to help them build a strong reputation. So in feng shui, we really are shaping a person's reputation, not only on the outside, but also on the inside. And so feng shui has a lot to do with building a person's confidence too, to actually handle certain situations. That's the inside job. But we also want to create the reputation on the outside. So it's the reality, and that's the outside job. So as many of you who have taken these 15 minutes with me over the last several months know, I keep bringing up the idea of the domino effect. And boy, is it a big part of feng shui. You take care of one thing, and then it reacts and improves another, and so forth. So Feng Shui is a lot about a domino effect. So you probably know this, but how your home shows how important you are to yourself, to your friends, to your family, and sadly to your neighbors too. We have a house in our neighborhood that every time I pass by it, and this is a fairly high-end neighborhood, when I pass by it, I wonder what those folks are thinking. And I can imagine the people that are next to them are not terribly pleased with them. But you're giving off what you really think is important to people all the time. So, for example, if mom and dad are disorganized, why would you think that Junior will not be disorganized, at least to some degree? So you're modeling all the time. They're being molded. So if you swear, they'll eventually use those words. And those of you who know that I like to joke around a little bit, but I do swear when I'm driving sometimes, and I'm sorry to my son for that. But if your environment shows hate or negativity in any way, whether it's posters or anything like that, it shows up and it eventually affects your reputation. Same with the positive part of it. So Feng Shui has an awful lot to do with the idea of how you show yourself to the public, but to yourself on a 24/7 basis. So you got to make your reputation important. It is very important. And how you show up every day in the world is how everybody sees you, whether you like it or not. So if you're late for work a lot, this is the part of your story. Think being organized is important? Well, it starts right there if you're late every day. So reputation starts at home. If you're only handling things once in a while, periodically, let's face it, your reputation is one of inconsistency. So the fame area needs a special type of tune-up, if you want to put it that way. And we make sure the fame area is correctly balanced and showing particular items. The reputation, our fame Gua quadrant has a dominant element. Maybe you've heard of the 5 elements in Feng Shui. Huge part of what we do in Feng Shui. The dominant element is fire, and it's the only location in an environment where the dominant element is fire. Fire is really important. But a lot of folks then maybe fill this particular quadrant up with that idea, and they don't think about the other elements, and that's not good. And in our training, we talk about the correct proportions. I don't think anybody else does that. Anyway, we want to make sure that our focus is on being on top of the clutter and cleanliness in that area. But you want to understand how do you want to be known to folks? How you want to be known to yourself and to the world. So in that area of your home or your office, which is the fame or reputation quadrant, this is the perfect area, folks, to show your awards, any diplomas you have, any articles about yourself or any articles that make you feel good or make you remind yourself about something, or positive photos of your past experiences. This is where you sort of load up on that. So the fire element, you need to learn how to work with it very much. But again, you need to be really good with the 5 elements if you want to be great with Feng Shui. And so fire has a relationships with all the other 4 elements, as do they with fire. So there's all these relationships that you have to think about and worry about a little bit. Now, this particular slide, I filled in all of them but fire at this point, because I want to make a point just because that's the dominant element we're talking about. But fire has 2 colors that we can use in that area to increase the fire. They're red and more of a bright orange. But you can also bring in objects like candles or how you light the area. In the kitchen, the stove, for example, or the microwave actually represent fire too. So you can represent it by objects, but there's also always a shape. The shape for fire that you can show in that area is a pyramid or a triangle, or really anything pointy, okay? And you're wondering, well, how am I going to do that? Well, you certainly could use a pyramid there if you want to. But quite often people use them in paintings or maybe in the throw rug at their feet. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to bring in the shape. So I want you to understand that myself and my partner, Lisa Alvin, we offer a really unique path to success for people. And there's two parts to it. Class that we're starting in August 16th, is a 6-week class that finishes on September 27th. And you certainly can stop right there if that's what you want to do. And this is a very unique part of what we do. We actually show you how to use all of these tools and techniques with one niche. So you really get a really good flavor of it. And possibly that niche then is going to be something that you want to use if you decide you want to make a career out of Feng Shui. And you're awarded this particular logo if you'd like to use it in marketing. And then the second part of it starts on October the 11th, finishes on November 27th. And at that point, once you finish it, you're then totally certified as a Feng Shui professional, which means that you can work with anybody on this planet with respect to your credentials. And we do something that nobody else does in the schools. We actually pay for your first year of membership to our governing board, the International Feng Shui Guild. And there is the logo that you then receive also that you could have as part of your marketing. So I would love to send you information about the class with no obligation, no pressure. You can send it to the email down there at the bottom if you'd like, and I'd be glad to send the PDF. Next, on Feng Shui and real estate, and I want to mention this again, everybody is welcome to this. You do not have to be in real estate to get a heck of a lot out of this. This one is on the 15th. It's on the first impression inside and how important it is with respect to things. And again, it's on June 15th, Eastern Standard Time at 2 p.m. It's always at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the next one, the next family version, if you want to call it that, is on probably everybody's favorite list, wealth. And we talk about the wealth quadrant or wall. And that is on July 5th, Eastern Standard Time at 2 p.m. So I really do appreciate you joining me. I hope you got something out of that. You'll get the recording. So either later this evening or tomorrow morning at the last or the least. But hope you enjoyed that. And I'm going to open it up to any questions that you might have. You have my email on here. Some people are wanting to just send me a question by my email, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I'm trying to help you. But if you have any questions, go ahead and open up your mics and ask me if you'd like.
Thank you for this, Steve.
Hey, Linda. How are you?
And me, I'm on this headset because I'm in a crowded room. So do you have a book or have you written a book that you could recommend on this subject?
I've written 3 books, and
Okay.
they're all on the same subject, though. It's Feng Shui and real estate.
Uh-huh.
And you know, they're available on Amazon, all that kind of stuff. But if you really want to just get into the particular form of real estate, I mean Feng Shui, that Lisa and I actually work with,
Uh-huh.
and don't take anything from the name of this. It's Feng Shui for the Dummies. I hate that title, but that it's a great book on this particular school of Feng Shui.
Yeah, perfect. Wonderful. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Linda, anytime. Anybody else have a question for me? All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you, like I said, got something out of that. I'll send you the recording, and I wish you a great afternoon. And I hope you'll decide to keep registering and learning about my favorite subject, Feng Shui. Bye-bye.